Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. I welcome everyone to the mid-morning Chaitanya Charitamrita reading session. And today we are doing Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela chapter 2578 onwards. And today will be a group discussion with all the devotees. So I welcome each and everyone to come forward and share your realizations on these verses that we are going to read today. So I will be reading the verses for today and then we can start our realization session. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela chapter 25 verse number 78. Prabhu kahe Vishnu Vishnu Anik Shudra Jiva Hina Jive Vishnu Mani Ye Aparadha China. Prabhu kahe, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Vishnu Vishnu, the holy name of Vishnu, Ami, I, Shudra, infinitesimal, Jiva, a living entity, Hina, bereft of all good qualities, Jive, such a low-grade living entity, Vishnu Mani, accepting as Lord Vishnu or the personality of Godhead, a aparadha chinha. This is a great offense. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When Prakashanand Saraswati supported himself by quoting the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately protested by uttering the holy name of Lord Vishnu. The Lord then presented himself in a most fallen living entity and he said, if someone accepts a fallen conditioned soul as Vishnu, Bhagavan, or an incarnation, he commits a great offense. Purport. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to teach us a lesson, he nonetheless denied belonging to the Vishnu category. Unfortunately, there are many so-called Vishnu incarnations in this age of Kali. People do not know what posing oneself as an incarnation is most offensive. People should not accept an ordinary man as an incarnation of God, for this also is a very great offense. We'll read a few more verses. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela chapter 25 verse 79. Jive Vishnu Buddhi Dure Ye Brahma Rudra Sama Narayane Mane Tare Pashandite Ghanana. Translation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, to say nothing of ordinary living entities, even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot be considered on the level of Vishnu or Narayana. If one considers them as such, he is immediately considered an offender and atheist. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 2580. Yasto Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Daivatai Samatvenaiva Viksheta Sapashandi Bhave Dhruvam. Translation. A person who considers demigods like Brahma and Shiva to be on an equal level with Narayana is to be considered an offender, a Pashandi. 25.81. Prakashananda kahe tumi sakshat bhagavan tabu yadi karatan radhasa abhiman. Translation. Prakashananda replied, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna himself. Nonetheless, you are considering yourself as eternal servant. Hare Krishna. So we can read the prayers and then start. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Giram Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschayata Deshtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Kadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you everyone for joining. And who would like to go first, sharing your realization on these verses that we have read?
You go ahead, dear.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to summarize what these verses are saying. It says that in these few verses that we have read today, we see that Prakashananda Saraswati, he was glorifying Mahaprabhu, and when he glorified Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu immediately stopped Prakashananda Saraswati, and he said, no jiva can be compared to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. No jiva can be compared to the position of Lord Vishnu. So he considered Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he himself considered, though he was the Supreme Lord, he considered himself as being a very, very minute, insignificant jiva. So the idea that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to put here is that he wants to show to the world that no jiva can be considered on the level of Vishnu Tattva. Nobody, including the great demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. It is a very great offense. And if one makes such an offense of considering anyone equal to Vishnu, he is considered as a great offender or a Pashandi. So what to talk of insignificant jivas like us? Even great personalities like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot be equal to the name of Lord Vishnu. In fact, that is also one of the offenses to the holy names, to consider the names of Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma to be equal to the of Lord Vishnu. So one should be very careful. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this particular verse, he is only taking the position out of humility. He is telling that he is not in Vishnu category, but actually he is in Vishnu category. But the reason he is talking like this is to teach others by example. Because the Mayavad philosophy is so confusing. People think everybody is Brahman, everyone is equal, everyone is that supreme, but that is wrong. So to teach Prakashananda Saraswati that important point, he specifically says this when he is addressed as Lord Vishnu. And anyone would like to continue or share your realizations on this point? Please go ahead. Hare Krishna. K.C. Sundari Mataji, you would like to start?
Somebody else can do, and I'll pitch in.
Yeah. Vinita Gandharvika Mataji? Yeah, thank you.
Mataji, you already explained what the concept is, Mataji. But I have a question regarding this. Can I ask you, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, we can actually discuss.
What about our Guru Vargas? We also give them as a respect as like Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? I mean, like, how do we understand that? They are a representative of Krishna that we know, so how do we understand that?
Yeah, they are representatives of Krishna, Mataji. They are not the Supreme Lord themselves. They are representatives of the Lord. So we worship them, we give them respect like God, but we don't consider them to be God. No jiva can become Krishna himself. So you can give them respects because he's a representative. He's giving Krishna to you. So we give that respect in that position because he's the channel through which we reach Krishna. So therefore, when Prabhupada also, there is this famous incident of Srila Prabhupada. He was given, in one place when he was there was a Rolls Royce that was arranged for his travel from the airport to the temple. So at that time, many devotees, they protested and they said, if he's a sannyasi, if he's a great renunciant, then why so much Rolls Royce kind of a car for him? But then Prabhupada said, the spiritual master is a representative of the Supreme Lord. So therefore, he's treated like the Supreme Lord because he's a channel to the Supreme Lord. That is how it works. Now that is the greatness of spiritual masters, the sannyasis or the initiating spiritual masters in our parampara. Okay, because they have these keys to the door of the spiritual world. That is the reason we describe them as being a representative of Lord Vishnu, but they themselves are not Lord Vishnu. So that clarity should be there because our entire Siddhanta is based on that. Vaishnava Siddhanta means one God, not that everybody becomes God. No, there is one God. All of us are in Dasya Bhav in the sense that all of us are eternally servants of the Lord. Jivera Swarupari Krishnera Nityadas. So each and every jiva is a servant of the Lord. So the jiva can never become God. They are only servants. But we give respect to great Vaishnavas who are at that level, who are at that level of being a representative of the Supreme. So that's how it works, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, for explaining.
Yeah, anyone would like to go ahead? Pradeshwari Lakshmi Mataji, would you like to speak a few words?
I'm sorry, Mataji. I've just joined, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay. So this is verse number Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 25, verse number 78. You can see on the screen and share your realizations. Meanwhile, the rest of them can start. Anjana Gopika.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mataji already explained, Mataji. I don't have anything to say.
Okay. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Mataji, all I would like to say is that this is so relevant in today's context. It's because there are so many bogus sannyasis who want us to treat them like God. And here now it's clearly telling us when even the Supreme Personality, when he came, Lord Chaitanya himself, he didn't want to get that respect. Why are they craving for that? So so that is one very easy for us to actually identify. And I should also say that there have been cases when even I and a lot of people that we know assume that the Guru is not just a representative and empowered by the Lord, and so should be given the same respect, or we see him on the same level as God. So this is a good lesson for me, I should say, and he's teaching us by setting a wonderful example. That's all I wanted to say, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Indu Mataji. Yes, all our Guru Vargas we see right from Prabhupada to all the Gurus in our Sampradaya, in our family, ISKCON family. We see they are so humble, where they are very, very, very clear in the philosophy. They are extremely humble in their activities. So many times even Prabhupada himself has said, when someone actually tried to put Prabhupada in the pedestal of being Krishna, Prabhupada very clearly, very, actually very strongly revolted, and he said that I am the servant of God, I am not God. So this happens many times. Yes, there is a lot of confusion, and generally you see in the Mayavad philosophy, people who are Mayavadis, they have this problem. They think Guru is God. This is very rampant in the devotees who follow not devotees I would say, but rather the people who are following the Mayavad philosophies. When a Guru says that he is God or expects his followers to call him God, then there is a big problem. There's a very wonderful video by Tamal Krishna Maharaj. Everyone should listen to that because it's such a beautiful, beautiful, very clear presentation on this topic. It's called as God competitors. Most of the Mayavadis, for them, Guru is God, but actually that's a very wrong concept, because Guru can never become God, or any Jiva can never become God. So that clarity is there only in the Vaishnava Siddhanta. And that video on God competitors gives a very good clarity for everyone who is very new and who can understand the differences. So that is something that is highly recommended. Someone can watch that video. It's very, very nice. Yeah. There are many misconceptions, Mataji, as you said, in this world today.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
I was just, when you were speaking about Srila Prabhupada and him saying that, I'm not God, in his humble nature, it just reminded me of the lecture we were just listening to last week in our JSS call about how somebody asked Srila Prabhupada the question that, are you initiating, do you give initiation? Are you initiating spiritual master? And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, I do initiate. And he said, oh, so it's very nice because not very many people get to be initiated by somebody who is an authority. You are an authority. And Srila Prabhupada, I am not an authority, but my spiritual master has authorized me to do this. It was such a, wonderful statement of Srila Prabhupada. See, he is an authority, but still his mood, as you said, of a devotee is that I'm not an authority. My spiritual master has authorized me to do this. So I'm doing this as a instruction of my spiritual master.
Hari Bol, that's so wonderful, Mataji. So nice. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So already everybody summarized it. The key point of these verses are just, that we are the servant of the servant, and that's the rule of our philosophy, of our parampara, that is being set by Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas. Like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, his first teaching is Jiva Swarupa Hoy Nitya Krishna Das. And
excuse me, Mataji, the voice is very low. I don't know if it's low for anybody else, but I can't hear.
Yes, it is very low.
Yes. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was just saying that the philosophy of our Krishna consciousness is, right, the Jiva Swarupa Hoy Nitya Krishna Das. That's the parampara system that's been set by our predecessors acharyas. And even Mahaprabhu himself used to say that Gopi Bhartar Kamalor Dasa Das and Das. So this Das and Das and Das, it's very important, and it's so easy, sometimes to say, but it's so hard to really feel it from our inside. I was just reflecting on this point that, whenever we write some devotional emails, we always say Dandvat Pranam, and we end with your servant. So, when we write or type your servant, we should really mean it. So, the whole content of that email should be in the mood of a servant. No doubt that we can be the temple president, we can be the leader, but as Prabhupada and, especially this leadership conference that goes on in Mayapur, especially during the Gaur Purnima, especially all the points, different, our Guru Vargas, they stress on that, yes, you are a leader, but just add the servant before it, that you are a servant leader. So that mood, even if we are instructing, that mood should be in the mood of servants. And yes, as Venita Gandharvika Mataji was asking that about our Guru Vargas, because we treat them as God. Because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur himself writes in Guru Ashtakam, Sakshad Hari, he is Sakshad Hari, no doubt about it. But still, though we, being a disciple, consider him as a Sakshat Hari, but still we should, because in the translation, it says that he's as good as God, but he's not God. That's the key point that we have to understand, that yes, he's as good as God, but yes, none of the spiritual masters says that he is a God. And because he is a servant, he's a representative of the God. And then, as Indu Mataji was also saying, that these days we have so many bogus gurus, roaming around, and they themselves claim themselves to be God. And that's the mood what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to set to Prakashanand Saraswati, because Prakashanand Saraswati was a Mayavadi sannyasi, and they consider everything to be Brahman, each and every. So in the point, I don't know which verse Priti Vilasani read, but it says that you consider everybody to be impersonal Brahman. So you are the supreme master. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. But just try to understand that nobody is on to that Brahman platform. They can be on to the point of na sochati, na kankshati, but still, this Parabrahman is Parabrahman. Nobody can merge into that Supreme Lord. We have that individuality and we have to maintain that. But at times we do see that, Krishna comes as a servant, serving his devotees, like Gopis, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj. So in this material world also we see that kind of thing, right? A son is serving it's supposed to serve his parents, his father. But at times we, being the parents, also serve our sons, right? But that's not the point when we are serving our son, so our son is taking some superior position. No, that's not the right way. Here, we all are serving each other. But that doesn't mean that our children also take some kind of superior position. So at times, it's quite bewildering situation, I should say, that for materialistic people, when they come and then they see and hear about Krishna be taking birth as Nanda, as a son of Nanda and Yashoda or Devaki and Vasudev, they consider that, he also has a father. So how can he become superior? How can he be the original personality of Godhead? So we have to try to understand that this is what the pastimes is being enacted. But he is himself God. He is giving the opportunity for Yashoda to become his mother. But it's not that. And of course, that mother is serving Krishna and Krishna is also serving mother. But that doesn't mean that the mother becomes superior. So the point that, in this material world, though we are serving each other, but our motive, our main point is that we are serving Krishna. That's why, the main philosophy that how we can be Krishna conscious 24/7 is that we should consider our children also the devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. So when we are serving our children, indirectly we are serving Krishna with the mood that Krishna has bestowed me this kind of responsibility, and I have to serve as if I'm serving the devotee of Krishna. The husband serves wife, the wife serves husband in the mood that my spouse is a devotee of Krishna. So the bottom line is that ultimately we all are serving Krishna and we should be serving Krishna. That's the mood of our philosophy of setting the servant of the servant of the servant. Dasa, dasa, anudas, which is very, again I say it's very easy to say, especially for me, but it's very, very hard to imbibe upon. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity, and if I said something wrong, please correct me.
Thank you, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. That was so nice. That was so clear and so comprehensive. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else would like to volunteer, please?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a question. I've been this concept of dasanudas. What is the difference in having the mood of das versus having the mood of dasanudas infinitum? Why do we struggle for the latter and not just the former? Because both are feeling themselves servant, right? But one is, feeling himself to be a more lowly servant than the other. And so, it's a question I actually asked, I think, a couple of days ago, but, anyway, this is my question. What is the difference in the result of feeling oneself to be the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant versus simply feeling oneself to be the servant of a servant? Just one, let's say just one or two times. Why is there more devotion in being das infinitum, ad infinitum, versus just, I'm the servant of the servant of the servant only, and not beyond that? Why is there more devotion in the first one?
Okay.
Mataji?
I can think of. Yes, go ahead.
Mataji, because we have this long chain of parampara, right? So that's why we are using that. Maybe.
That is true. But, we understand that you can experience more devotion if you are feeling das ad infinitum rather than if you are just feeling it, if you just only have a couple of servants before you. Why is there more sense of devotion? Why does the feeling of devotion enter more deeply into the heart?
I think yesterday Savitri Mataji mentioned that what is this in spiritual world, what is the highest is in the material world. Yes, is the lowest. Means she was giving the example of in material world, if somebody become the master of the master, master of the master, he become the highest person. But in spiritual world, if somebody become lower than the lower and the lower, he will become the highest.
Right.
That was the example maybe teach Mataji, because even
Right, but my question is why? This is the question that I can't get answer to, the why.
Hare Krishna Gaurangi Mataji. I'll try to say something. It's a very good question, like why do we, because Das Anudas is, Das Anudas, we have that. So, like I'll give you an example. My spiritual name is Kirtida Sundari Dasi, right? So this first Das represents what the immediate Das we are. Like my name is Kirtida Sundari Dasi. Kirtida Sundari. Who is Kirtida Sundari? Kirtida Sundari is the mother of Srimati Radharani, right? And my name is Dasi. So Kirtida Sundari Dasi. I am the Dasi, or the servant of the mother of Srimati Radharani. That's the spiritual name that is being given to by my spiritual master. Now the point is, though the name is given as such, but am I capable of becoming the direct servant of the mother of Srimati Radharani? Right? So that is what the first Das represents, that we are the direct servant. But the mood is Das Anudas. We cannot, I myself cannot serve directly the mother of Srimati Radharani. Is that mood should be that I'll be serving the servants of the mother of Srimati Radharani. So this is how we ponder upon that we are such lowly that we cannot take the direct service of the Supreme Lord directly in Golok Vrindavan, right? That's what our position is. We cannot. I should say I cannot. So the mood is that I have to start training myself from this material world itself, that how I can be more humble so that I can serve in the mood of Das Anudas, not a direct servant, but the servant of the servant of the servant, because that's the position ultimately I'm going to get in my Swarupa Siddhi. I cannot be the immediate servant of those intimate servants of the Supreme Lord or the Divine Couple. I have to take the menial position of being serving of the servants of the Divine Couple. What to serve directly the Divine Couple. So, that's the mood. Actually, this is what, my Guru Maharaj said when he gave this name to me. When he said this name, he just said that, I'm giving you the name because you are the servant of the mother of Srimati Radharani, because Kirtida Sundari is the mother of Srimati Radharani. That's what he just stopped. But when I went inside, when there was a one-to-one after initiation, when we meet one-to-one with our spiritual masters, at that time he explained that though this name is being given, but don't think that we can eternally directly serve. So the training starts from this material world itself. So that's what I have something to say. Thank you.
Yes, I understand that we don't directly serve. I do understand that. One thing that I need to clarify in what you were saying is, you said that, because your name is Kirtida Sundari Devi Dasi.
No, it's Kirtida Sundari Dasi. He specifically said there is no deity. It's Dasi. Only Kirtida Sundari Dasi.
Okay, so, but when you were explaining, you said there was a second Dasi or something like that, didn't you?
No, I said that Dasi, Anu Dasi, right? So that Anu means following the servant of the servant.
Yeah,
Anu means following the servant of the servant. Right? Anu basically means following.
No. There was miscommunication. Okay, so so yes, I understand that in the spiritual world we don't serve directly. But my question is, why do we experience? Well, I guess I have two questions. One is one of the reasons that we don't serve directly, like for example, you wouldn't serve Kirtida directly. You would serve her servant. So one question I have is that because the position of Kirtida's servant, that's already taken, like eternally, just like nobody can be Mother Yashoda, because that's a fixed position. There's already a Mother Yashoda. Nobody else can be Mother Yashoda. So when it comes to the servants of Kirtida, right, is that position also already taken?
No, Mataji, that's not eternal, I should say. But the point what I was stressing is that I should, because actually what are we doing here in Krishna consciousness in this material world? We are simply training ourselves. That's what is going on. This is just the practice in which you are doing it in Krishna consciousness. The performance comes after that, when we really go back to our spiritual reality. Right? There the performance comes. So the training is dasa anudas here. There I might perfect my life in this birth and go and directly serve Kirtida Sundari. There is no doubt about it. I can do it if I perfect my life. If, there's a big if I perfect my life in this lifetime, I may serve. But the point is, what Prabhupada or what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us, let's start practicing. Even if we don't get the direct service, we don't feel disheartened. Because why we are here? We are here because we were not able to relish that why Krishna is being served. We want to become masters. That's the point we are here. And I've been here for time immemorial. So here comes the practice that if I don't know what position I'm going to get in the spiritual world, but irrespective of that, even if I get the position of dasa, and so many layers are there, and then ultimately I'm serving the Supreme Lord, then also I must be happy that yes, at least I am engaged in His service. If not direct, then indirect. Like if somebody is a lead cook in the temple, and if I feel that, even I can cook better, why not I can be the lead cook? There the problem starts. But if I feel that, yes, let her be the lead cook, let her be the servant, but the other servants of that lead cook told me, can you just wash this pot? Can you keep this in the refrigerator? If I'm happy serving that, then that's the real practice that we are going on. That's why Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu says we have to worship in a dasa anudas. He just said two, but Prabhupada says and our Acharya says that it can be a multi-layered dasa, endless. But here we are just practicing, so that mood should be done.
Okay, so my understanding is that this dasa anudas concept is supposed to be like a cure or a remedy to remove any vestige of false prestige, right?
Exactly.
Just to remove any, because that's our main malady here. Is the false ego wants to be superior to everybody in the world. So to counteract that, we're supposed to cultivate the mood of das anudas.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Mataji.
Somebody else can also please add. It's not that I'm going to speak. Thank you.
Yeah, yes, Mataji, that is correct. So it said that the last snare of Maya is to think that I am God. In fact, the false ego is so hard to give up. And that's the very reason we are here in this material world, and it's extremely hard to give it up. But yes, by inculcating this mood, eventually we attract the mercy of Krishna, who's ready to look at us. This amanitva, or this feeling of humility, thinking oneself very low, attracts the mercy of Krishna. So therefore it becomes very relishable as we perform that service in the mode. So.
But I also think it's important to distinguish, like Mother Savitri was saying in her class, it's important to distinguish this sense of lowliness from the material sense of lowliness.
Of course, yes. This sense of lowliness directly connected to Krishna only. That attracts mercy, not the material sense of lowliness where you think you're, very low and develop an inferiority complex. That is different. Definitely.
When I think of Krishnadas Kaviraja's statement, lower than the Brahman's stool, then it becomes a little more challenging for me to distinguish it from the low self-esteem kind of sense of loneliness,
Yes, Mataji. So when Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is talking about himself being in such a fallen position, he's talking reality. Actually, that is the truth. Everyone is really fallen. He's just taking he's just being our representative in talking about how fallen we are. That is all. Because who are we after all? We are all such minute sparks of the Supreme Lord. Krishna is obviously so great. So it is the truth in one sense. It's just being, not even humility, it's being honest actually. Many times we say we are humble, but that is just honesty. We have to be humble. What else? What qualification we have? Right? But that is in front of Krishna, in front of Krishna devotees. But it doesn't apply in a material sense where you're developing this complex that you are useless in everything that you do. That's not the point.
Yeah, but I still, he could have simply said, I'm lower than worm. But because he brought this stool into it, it does sound more like not just recognizing the truth of his minuteness, but because he brought the stool into it, it takes on a different, color.
Mataji, it's not just that, Mataji. I mean, of course, that's how or rather people perceive it. But it's not like that. We have actually been one of that in the past lives because of the millions of offenses that we have done. It is not that, that has never happened to anybody. Everyone has been in such hopeless conditions all our lives. So it is something for us to awaken. It is in a mood where it is telling us, oh, awaken. It is not that you're great in any way. We are all very fallen. That is the mood in which he's trying to say that. So it's not like, oh, stool is, dirty, so he's telling that way. No, it's not like that. Actually, that is the truth in one level, because everybody in all the births that we have taken, we have done a million offenses where there is a very good possibility that each one, at least me or anybody, has gone through that position of being in that place, actually. So there is a lot of truth to it as well.
Okay.
I think Vrinda Gopika Mataji tried to speak a couple of times. Would you like to speak, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Koti Koti Dandat Pranam, Shri Vidya Sandhya, Shri Vidya Sandhya, Panishwari Mataji, Vrinda Gopi Mataji, and Vinita Gandharvi Mataji.
Mataji, we cannot hear. It's very low.
Yes, very low.
Now you can hear, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Dandat Pranam to all Vaishnavi. I want to share that Das Dasanu Das Bhav means whatever we are
whatever small post we are able to qualify, prepare because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, Shri Guru Parampara. I want to share one thing with all of you that one day I think, oh, I am doing night seva, and that day I am not able to prepare one small post that is from Srila Prabhupada Vani book. So we should not proud, and especially I want to share that when I am Boston in 11 months, I am not getting association of Vaishnava because temple is far 2 hours, and in our family they are following Shri Swaminarayan Panth. My counselor said, go to the Swaminarayan temple, don't sit at home, and go to the kitchen and do the seva, whatever seva you are doing in Shri Radha Gopinath. So we are so fortunate that we get such a strong association of Kitteta Sundari Mataji, Priti Vilasini Gopi Aji, Kala Sudha Mataji, and Aji Panishwari Mataji, Indu Gopi, all Lalitangi Gopi, all are very special Mataji, very special. It is not enough that Sunday we go and attend the Aji Amindra Prabhu, Aji Adika Dadar Das class Mataji, but when we came in a Bhakti Vriksha Sangha, especially morning japa, and hearing Shri Bhagavatam by serving our family, cooking prasadam for Shri Radha Gopinath, afternoon prasadam, and hearing Shri Chaitanya Charanamrita, so all positive energy came in our prasadam. Mataji, now my Prabhu Drashti Sivani Saturday Sunday sit in a dining table and hearing the Shri Bhagavatam. That is the potency of pure Vaishnava. Sometimes something is going on in our personal life, and sometimes we are not able to ask the question to Kirtida Sundari Mataji or Aji Kirtida Sundari or Aji Paneshwari Mataji or Aji Priti Vilasini Gopi. But we get answer by that question, Mataji. I never forget all Mataji's, all Vaishnavis association. No one is senior and junior. Thank you very much for all your association. Yes, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, we should serve as Das Dasanu Das Bhav. And we have to learn from senior Vaishnava. In Gopinath, we cannot touch Brahman initiated people, only cook prasadam. So we all are helping them and watching them. By that way, we correct ourselves, Mataji. Learn so many things from Vaishnava. Yes, Mataji. If Vaishnava gives such a nice 5, 6, 7 slap, but I will stay with Vaishnava only. Because they correct us, Mataji, and learn so many things. Me very small Vaishnavi like a ant leg. Learn so many things from all of you from last 3 years only. I am in this movement from last 20 years, but be honest, my japa quality is going more attentively after attending morning japa. Koti Koti Tanvat Pranam to all of you. Thank you, Achi Kirtida Sundari Mataji, Achi Priti Vilasini Gopi. Today you explained very nicely what is our mood. Das Dasanu Dasanu Das Bhav. It is hard to break the ego, Mataji. Koti Koti Tanvat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Yes, it's extremely hard. Ego, yes, that is the biggest hindrance. Yes, the last night of Maya, they say, right? To think I'm God. Yes, that happens. That happens. In fact, when we do direct service, that is even more rampant, actually.
We take grantly when we get chappan boga in our plate, but when we not get the association of Vaishnava, ask that Vaishnava or Vaishnavi. What a painful time of 11 months or 9 months or 1 year, Mataji. So we should not take the association of senior Vaishnava.
Very lightly.
Very sincerely.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Thank you so much, Mataji. We do have some people who haven't spoken yet. Would anyone else like to speak?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
Dandavat pranams to all. So the dasanu concept is really hard, and when it comes to that, it's only our we have to just think of it as giving pleasure to Krishna and nothing much. All our ego, everything. I mean, there is no question of me and mine in the picture. Only Krishna is the center, and we are all serving for the pleasure of Krishna. Whatever we do, it's for the pleasure of Krishna. Nothing should be our, so my sense, even when we are doing a service, it should not be for to gratify our senses. When we do that,
Right.
then that is not a service at all. It is only for the pleasure of Krishna we are doing everything. Be it preparing prasad. It can become a sense gratifying thing if you are doing it for yourself, and even if it was prasad that you would want to taste. Oh, I want to have a gulab jamun, and let me make it really nice. If that is the mood, then obviously we are turning that act of prasad into a sense gratification act. But when the mood is, no, I want to serve Krishna, I want to see Krishna happy, I want to see the pleasure of him, so, and me being, and I'm given the opportunity to even serve him. So how fortunate I am to even be given that opportunity to serve him. So that when we develop that attitude in each and every act we do, all the material things that we look upon can be, can be an act for Krishna. And that way we will develop the humility. I think the most important idea that the Dasanudasa portrays is the act of humility. How humble we are, and Krinadapi Sunichene is a perfect example. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even when we are chanting, we are even so blessed to even chant. We are given this holy name, and I'm not sure that we are fortunate enough to even get that holy name and chant. But Krishna has been merciful to even give me that holy name, and we are made to chant. So how blessed we are. And what should be we should always have that mood of helplessness. I don't know how, but we should always feel helpless, and we have to ask Krishna to shower his mercy upon us, so that we have that mood always, and serve the devotees and everybody in the mood that we need to, with the right attitude.
Very nice, Radhika Mataji. Very nicely said. Yes, as you both of you were speaking, I was even thinking, actually, when you're really trying to develop this mood of humility and serving like that, the kind of happiness that is experienced. I mean, of course, it's not you're looking out for that happiness, so you're doing it. But still, out of the causeless mercy of Krishna, there is some sort of happiness that you experience. You wouldn't trade that for anything else. When we have service, it is so nice. The minute a service is gone, like under a circumstance, you're not able to perform that service, the pain that is there, in the absence of the service, or when you're feeling that you're missing that service, that really tells you how much when you had that service. I mean, when you both were talking, I really felt that, I have gone through these situations, and all this is possible. Even whatever service that we are doing, it was possible only by the grace of Krishna. Whatever happiness that we were getting out of that service was also because of Krishna's kripa. It was because of his mercy that was actually coming. And the minute you're missing some service, there is some sort of discontent in the heart, which is unexplainable. So unless one is really in the mood of servant when he's doing that service, such happiness cannot come. That is something that when you're thinking, okay, I'm so great, see, I'm so great, I'm so qualified, that's why I got this opportunity to serve. When you're serving in that mood, actually there is no real happiness in that mood at all. There is no real happiness inside the heart. There is only this strong sense of pride that overpowers everything. But when we feel grateful, when we are humble and we are feeling grateful for something, that is when the real happiness comes. That's what I was thinking as both of you were talking. And I think each one of us have experienced this at different levels in our own lives. Only when you have a grateful heart, you can really feel nice about doing something. So that is something I wanted to add as you both were talking. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I had a question, Mataji.
To that.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Mataji, you add, because I had a question.
Oh, okay, Mataji. Even that happiness that you're talking about, Keshwanand Prabhu always says that happiness should be used to double the service that you do. that happiness again we should not be engrossed in the bliss that we experience, but we should doubly use that for the service of the Lord and make it even more and more and more.
Haribol.
So I think so. I just thought of sharing that, Mataji.
Oh, that's
so
so
much.
true,
Go
and
ahead,
that's so
Mataji.
wonderful. Actually, that is so true, and that's so wonderful. So thank you, thank you.
I just take 1 second, Mataji.
Yes.
Sometimes our physical body is not supporting and we want to do seva for Mangla Aarti to end of the festival, and somehow we can do by the mercy of our Guru Parampara and Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev. At the end of the day, Mataji, what pleasure we get, Mataji, it's not explained in words, Mataji. Tanvat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Haribol Mataji, that is so true. Even when devotional service, see, the realization that you get, like when you were talking, every little thing you realize, because when you're given some devotional service, even though you don't have the physical capacity to do it, but still it happens. It just happens. You will go forward, you'll finish whatever you have taken up for the sake of Krishna. So even though you didn't have the physical capacity, how were you able to do it? It was possible only through His mercy. So such realizations, you certainly have after you have completed that service.
You have Prabhupada and Gurudev and Guru Parampara.
Definitely. Yes, Mataji.
So true, Mataji, what you're saying. That's true. Whatever you are able to do, it's only because of Krishna and Guru's mercy.
Yes. Otherwise, we are really not so qualified, actually. Yes, you, Praneshwari Mataji.
Yeah, I forgot the other question. The one question actually, I remember now. So one question I have is, so whatever we're doing, as Mataji was explaining about how when we're cooking, we're cooking for the pleasure of Krishna. But I know that in my, I'm not at that stage where I'm completely thinking of Krishna when I'm cooking all the time. So I'm usually in the mood of, okay, what do I have in the refrigerator and what will everybody eat, basically. And so that's my mood, and and of course my first thought is not, I'm telling you truthfully, okay, this is what Krishna wants. That's not, I'm not there yet. So how do we get to that point where we're actually thinking about Krishna? The only time that I'm actually thinking about cooking for Krishna is when I'm actually cooking for Giridhari in his kitchen. Then I'm thinking, okay, let me see, this is what I should make. Oh, he'll like this, he'll like that. That's the only time that I have a little bit of an inkling. But when I'm at home and I'm cooking, my mood is usually, okay, let me see what I have in the refrigerator, and there's, who's home today, and who's going to eat what, and what. That sort of mood is there. So how do we transfer this mood of this, being in Giridhari's kitchen, in Radharani's kitchen, and cooking and having that mood, and then transferring it to our home life? That's one question. The other question is, I'll say both questions, and anybody can answer whichever one they want. The other question is speaking about the pleasure. Yes, when we're doing a service, whether it's going out on book distribution or when we're chanting for the deities, and we feel so much happiness. Is that happiness, is that pleasure we feel, is it because we're feeling pleasure because we're feeling, I'm thinking because I'm feeling happy for myself. It's not because my mood is, I'm pleasing Krishna, so that's why I'm happy. Does that make sense? I'm not sure exactly if I'm framing my question right. Mm-hmm. But, I have this, like, when I go out of book distribution, I'm like, oh my God, it's just exciting, and it's exciting for me, but I'm not thinking of Krishna at the time, really. It's just that it was just so fulfilling for me. So, is it that okay? I don't know if my question is that okay, or is that the way it is, or is that also part of doing something for Krishna? I guess those are all my questions for that part. Those are all the different, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. I just try to answer from what I know, but of course others can add. Mataji, yes, it is service to Krishna, but the point is, if that pleasure is inflating your ego, thinking that, oh, I'm so great, I'm much more capable every day, this is just my effort, I'm capable. So if it's inflating your ego, if that happiness is inflating your ego, then we need to, it happens to everybody. So what we need to do is we need to put a conscious check on it. Just check it right there. No.
Okay, makes sense.
So
makes sense. Yeah.
you need to take it at a step by step, because it happens to everybody. It's not just one person, or it's not just in one service. We see that it happens every time in every service, and there is a conscious check that we need to put.
Right. Okay.
Happiness, I mean, yes, it is Krishna's mercy even that you're feeling happy. So when we try to consciously check our thoughts and intentions, then it becomes more easy on a practical level. And
okay.
Yeah, and regarding cooking at home, Mataji, yes, it involves so many practical aspects. When we are cooking in the temple for the pleasure of the deities, it's very straightforward because Krishna is right there and you're just doing it for Krishna. And whatever mercy is there, you're distributing it to others. That's all. The rest of them become secondary. But at home, yes, there are so many factors you need to think of. So the practical thing that you could probably, which I think is, I'm just telling this all to myself, Mataji. It's not like I'm telling you. But which I would probably try to check out is that at least if I know that only these vegetables are there in the fridge, and okay, my husband is going to eat this, or my relatives who are at home are going to eat this, so I can only make this, at least I'll put the effort and the consciousness of the preparation. When I'm making the preparation, at least hopefully Krishna will enjoy this.
Okay. I do have them. I mean, I do realize that it's because I want to feed them prasadam.
Right.
I mean, I basically do all the cooking, and I want to do all the cooking because I want the consciousness, the Krishna consciousness, to really be up front and center when I'm cooking, so that it becomes truly prasadam.
Right. That's all, Mataji. That is where we can implement.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. And I like what you said about if we feel that our ego is inflating, that then that's like a red flag. Okay, watch it. But thank you. That's very good to know. That's very good.
And
to
the
know.
beauty is that even that time Krishna actually intervenes, and you will see it happen. Like classic example of book distributors, when they think they sold a lot of books, Krishna will never send a single person to buy their books. They humble down. Nothing, realize who they are. Krishna sends people. So these happen. If we just keep our mind open, we can see all this happening.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. That was very, very good. And now I don't. Now I won't. How do I say this? Feel guilty for being happy, thinking I'm being happy just because of my great. And as long as I keep in mind that it's out of the mercy of Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj that I'm given this opportunity to be able to do this. So thank you, Mataji. Very nice answers.
Yes, Mataji. We are instruments of Srimati Radharani and Krishna.
Thank you, Preeti Vilasni. Thank you for such a beautiful answer. As you were saying, I was reflecting on my own services, and it holds so much value to it. So thank you for sharing that.
Me too, Mataji. For me too. Thank you.
I'll just share one example if you think so. Like you were saying about how the book distributors, when they think that they have distributed a lot of books, not a single book will be gone next day. So that's how Krishna humbles us. And the same thing, I'll just share one incident. I'll particularly not say the name, but once, in the morning I was dressing the deity here in North Carolina. And one of the devotees, she did Manglarati. And as soon as Manglarati she did, she had a service of dressing Giriraj. We have small Giriraj in our temple. So Giriraj is dressed by someone else and Radha Krishna is dressed by some else pujari. So there are two pujaris. So as soon as, she did her Giriraj service, and I was dressing Shri Radha Golokananda here in North Carolina. So she immediately came inside and she said, "Can I see Radha Golokananda?" I said, "See, 7 o'clock the curtains will open and you can see." No, Mataji, I don't have a time. I just want to see directly from the altar before the curtains open. I said, "Okay, go ahead." And then she went inside and then she saw Srimati Radharani and Krishna, and she said, "Oh, so beautiful. They are looking like as if they are going for some marriage." And she elaborately said some terms and all. And I don't know. somehow, I don't know, like I practically remember that, yes, that thought didn't come to my mind that I dressed in, but subtly it might have. I'm true to myself that at that time the thought didn't come that I dressed, but somehow subtly it came that, yes, devotees love the dressing. I don't know what exactly happened. So 7 o'clock we just give bhoga, and 7:15 is the time when we have to blow the conch shell and the curtains open. And what happened? 7:10 the bhoga was out. I took the bhoga out, and between 7:10 and 7:15 there are 5 minutes to place the flute back, to put the Radharani's hand. She sometimes holds bouquet, to put it that back, and then just see everything is okay, and then just 5 minutes of time we have, like placing some flowers here and there onto the pictures. So these some little services. And as soon as the bhoga, I took it out and I went inside and I just looked at Srimati Radharani. She just threw her veil away. Imagine, veil was out and there was so much on the veil. The flowers were there. The garlands were there, and she threw her veil away. And I cried like anything. Just a moment, when I saw that, I was full with tears because there are only 4 minutes left that I have to blow the conch and I have to open the curtain. And 4 minutes, what to do now? And I literally cried and I begged forgiveness that suddenly if something happened, got inside my mind, please forgive me and please don't take this service from me forever. And please, 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 now somehow I'll try to adjust. See, all this happened in a minute, see how our mind goes. And in a minute, I just took the veil with the, hairs also. It was totally back off. And just I took the hair and put it back, and somehow I prayed, and within 3-4 minutes, yes, I was delaying opening a curtain for a minute, and yes, the temple president came and she said, hey, you were ready, right? Then what happened? What were you doing inside? I said, I don't know what I was doing, but I'm opening the curtain. It was a minute late. From 7:15, I blew the conch at 7:16. But luckily, they saved me on that day. And I literally cried on altar. Though we are, as per Vaishnava's etiquette, we should never cry on the altar. But I literally cried on that day because I don't know what happened. So when Preeti Vilasini was sharing this, it came into my mind that this is what happened. And they reciprocated immediately. When your ego inflates, immediately the divine couple puts the prick in your balloon and it deflates down. So thank you.
Oh my God, that was an experience, Mataji. Thank you for sharing that. And oh my God, that was so wonderful to know. Thank you. And I'll tell you one thing, Mataji, another thing that came to my mind when I used to hear Guru Maharaj's lecture is that if Krishna is immediately pricking your ego right there and correcting, right, it's actually a very great mercy. Because sometimes Krishna, if he's not doing it immediately, that means that he has something really big for you. He's really upset. And a person is a big offender if he reacts very late. Sometimes he lets people, keep doing the offenses and towards the end he reacts. But if he's immediately responding and if he's correcting, then he's very, very merciful. He was explaining this in one lecture about when one question was asked about how come there are so many offenders? They keep offending, but they get away for a very long time. Why does this happen? So there was a question asked, I don't remember which lecture, but Maharaj was talking about this. And I thought it's so true. If he really loves you, he will just do it immediately. So that is also there. Krishna acts in so many ways, Mataji. In that little one incident, so much has happened, right? So Krishna responds in several ways. Thank you for that. That is a very nice lesson for everybody. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing your heart so nicely. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can I add to it, Mataji? Preeti Vilasini Mataji, can I add to what you were saying?
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you for such a wonderful story. I mean, it's not a story, Mataji, but very, very nice of sharing your experience with the deities, Mataji. So nice. So to Preeti Vilasini's Mataji's comment, even in the first canto, if you look at Parikshit Maharaj, he wanted the Supreme Personality of Godhead to give him the punishment immediately for him putting the snake on the Brahmana, because he thought that he committed the offense, and he started, let me get the punishment right now, because I don't want it to be prolonged. So long as I'm in this material world, let me get it immediately. That was the mood that he was exhibiting. Right, Mataji? To your point.
Oh yes. Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Radhika Mataji, for bringing that up. Thank you.
Is it possible, Preeti Vilasini Gopi and H.G. Kirtida Sundari Mataji to sing Sachi Sutastakam?
Yes, Mataji. Actually, I thought of requesting you this time to sing, because it's been a very long time since we heard you sing. So can you please sing Sachi Sutastakam, Mataji?
Mataji, I will hear, you all will sing.
Okay. Anyone would like to volunteer for Mataji's request? So, is your daughter there, Vinita Mataji?
Mataji, she's sick, right? She's sleeping, Mataji.
Oh, okay, no problem. So, anyone would like to volunteer? It's a beautiful song, Sachi Sutastakam.
Mataji, can you please send it in a group so that we all will sing together?
Of course, yeah. I can even screen the song if everyone would like to sing Navagauravaram.
We can sing one paragraph each, because if everybody will sing, it will be too much noise.
Yeah, one para each.
One.
Yeah, I can start maybe, and then no, someone else start. I'm not getting the shruti. Someone else start.
Start, Mataji. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishta Bhutale Sumati Pakshekam Kamitavani Namo Vishnu Padaya.
I can start, Mataji. Navagauravaram.
Oh, Mataji, Vrinda Gopika already started.
Oh, I didn't hear her. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, her voice is very low. Mataji, you need to be loud because people are not hearing you.
Yes, Mataji. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaurabhakta. Nava Gauravaram Nava Pushpasaram Nava Bhavadaram Nava Lasyaparam Nava Hasyakaram Nava Hemavaram Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram. Mataji, please start.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Panishwari Mataji.
Nava prema yutam Nava prema yutam Nava nita sucham Nava vesha krutam Nava prema Nava dhavilasat Subha prema mayam Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram.
Haribol. Bhakti param harinamadharam karajapyakaram harinamaparam nayane satatam pranayashudharam pranamami sachi sutta gauravaram.
Tatatam janata bhavatapaharam paramartha parayana lokagatim navalehakaram jagatapaharam pranamami sachi sutta gauravaram. Pranamami sachi sutta gauravaram.
प्रणमामि सचीसुत गौरवर.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Shall I say, Mataji?
Nija Bhakti from there.
Okay. Shall I sing, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Nida Bhakti Karam Priyacharutaram Natana Ratana Nagara Rajakulam Kulakamini Manasalaksakaram Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram. Thank you, Mata.
Viva. Karathalavalam. Anyone?
Karathalavalam kala kantharanam varanam madhuvatyasanam dikya maduram nijabhaktika ganatam nityakaram prana nijabhakti guna varta nityakaram pranamami sachisuta gauravaram pranamami sachisuta gauravaram.
Haribol. Yuga Dharma.
Yuga Dharma Yutam Punananda Sutam Dharani Suchitram Bhava Bhavochitam Tanujyana Chitam Nijavasa Yutam Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram.
Arunam Nayanam. Arunam Nayanam Charanam Vasanam Madani Sakaritam Svanamadaram Kurute Surasam Jagata Jivanam Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
Nijabhaktikaram priya charutam pranamami sachisuta gauravaram.
Very well. Thank you all so much for joining. So we'll end. We're already late. Thank you. Thanks to each and everyone who joined in the discussion and shared your valuable realizations and questions. We'll end the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyascha Pranam Bhavani Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, all the devotees on the call ki jai. Thank you all so much for such a wonderful session. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So nice. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.